Welcome! Happy Halloween! I'm Yumi Tsuchinoko, and thank you so much for joining me as we play through Scarlet Hollow. I have played through this game, something like 12 times at least, and I still keep playing it, so I think it is a spectacular game, not just for Halloween, but I play it at all times of the year, but I am especially excited to share it with you today. A couple of disclaimers: this is a horror game, but I hope that doesn't dissuade you from joining me. I think that horror games are spectacular and serve a lot of really good purposes, not just for feeling more comfortable with yourself, but I think it's good to embrace anxiety and fear in a controlled environment, as opposed to having to deal with it in real time. So even if you're someone who, like me, might struggle with things like anxiety or fears of the dark, I would invite you to join me, because I think that this is truly an experience that everyone should get to enjoy. That being said, obviously do this at your own pace. I will be voice acting throughout this entire game, so you can listen along to my voice as we're playing through. You don't necessarily have to watch the entire thing to get the full experience, but I would highly recommend that you do as much as you can, because I think that it's a valuable thing just to embrace horror to a large extent, and I hope you'll join me for it. So with that preamble out of the way, let's jump into Scarlet Hollow, shall we? Alrighty. So my name is Yumi. I live in the city of Chibinoko. Ooh, I think I'm gonna go with she, her. And then for traits, let's go with talk to animals, which is my absolute favorite, and book smart. Alrighty. Oh, I am so excited to play this. This is so great. Let's begin. You jolt awake as the bus hits a particularly nasty bump. You feel like you'd only just managed to start drifting off, and now here you are, awake again and still exhausted. For a moment, you're hazy on the details of exactly where here is, confusing this bus with the many others that came before it. But as your mind continues to reassert its existence in the waking world, the past few days come into focus. The long-lost cousin, the bad news, the 26 hours of bus rides with countless late-night stops and seedy depots that felt unsafe even in the middle of the day. You wouldn't normally find yourself traveling like this, but your cousin bought the tickets. The funeral of Pearl Ann Scarlet, your cousin's mother and your aunt, seemed like something you shouldn't ignore, even considering your own late mother's rocky relationship with this side of the family. Fortunately, the end of your long journey is in sight. You're almost in Scarlet Hollow. So anyway, as I was saying... Oh no, he's still here. He's been sitting next to you for the past 5 hours, talking at you without pause. You're not sure he even stopped when you started to doze off. At first you thought he was just being friendly, but that was several hours of one-sided conversations ago. I was up in Maryland looking for work, but mostly messing around because I was a dumb teen. Me and my buddies were doing our usual prank stuff, you know, pushing joggers into the harbor, that sort of thing. Wait, what? Yeah, you know, teen stuff. So this girl comes up to us, swinging her purse, yelling about how she was gonna call the cops or whatever. It was hilarious. She actually hit my friend, and he said it hurt a lot, so I guess she really was mad, and not just playing. But she kept swinging, and soon enough she lost her balance and fell into the harbor all on her own. We didn't even have to push her. We had a good laugh and fished her out, and her phone got soaked so she couldn't call the cops on us. We wound up hanging out all day. She kind of became my girlfriend after that, and we've been on and off for about a year, so it's pretty serious. Though about 5 months ago, she tried to break up with me, like, for real, and jeez. You ever get so mad you just want to, like, kill somebody? I have never wanted to kill anyone. You're young, you'll get it when someone tries to break your heart someday. It changes a person. Makes them think things they never thought they could. I honestly could have killed that woman. Anyway, she's giving birth to her son right now, so I'm trying to get up to Virginia to be there for it. I don't know if I'm, into that stuff, so I might just wind up on a bus to New York or something instead. I always wanted to go there. Maybe it would help if you talked with someone about these feelings, someone professional. I'm not licensed or anything, but it seems like you might have a personality disorder. It might be worth looking into. Nah, I don't do that kind of stuff. Bus strangers are the best therapists. I feel a lot better after talking with you. Anyways, where'd you say you were headed? I didn't. No need to be so nasty. I was just asking. Not like I'm gonna follow you off the bus or anything. So, if you aren't getting off at my stop, then you must be headed to Scarlet Hollow, right? Or the Holler, as they call it in these parts. That's the only other stop until this bus turns around. I ride it pretty often, so I'd know. Almost nobody ever goes up that way. Though, come to think of it, I had a couple of buddies who went up there to work in the mine. There's a coal mine up there in the Holler, you see, and there's always a job listing or two on the boards around here. I never wanted to do that kind of thing myself. I like my lungs the way they are, thanks, but my buddies got desperate enough to try it. I haven't heard from them in a while, now that I think about it. I should see if they're on Facebook, see how they're doing up there. Hope they didn't die. He looks back at his phone, for once focused on something other than you. Oh, this is me. It was lovely meeting you. Hope you don't get too bored without me around to talk to. Here, I have something for you. The stranger rifles through his pack before presenting you with a dripping bag of peanuts. They're boiled peanuts. I got them at a gas station a few buses back. I noticed you haven't eaten much, so I figured you could use them more than me. Plus, they dripped all over my bag, so I don't want to carry them anymore. You take the peanuts. Thanks. You're welcome. And with that, I leave you. Safe travels, friend. And just like that, the stranger is gone. Maybe you can finally get some sleep. Next stop, Scarlet Hollow, end of the line. Almost there. The bus finally comes to a stop, its brakes squealing as it deposits you in front of the Scarlet Hollow bus station. The sign at least reads bus station, but calling it that feels disingenuous. At best, it's a kiosk. Though for a small town like this, you're amazed there's so much as a road, let alone a bus that drives on it every week. The driver quickly shuts the doors behind you and starts the engine, kicking up dust clouds as he pulls away, eager to leave you and this place behind. Hey, Yumi. You instantly recognize the worn young woman from the few public photos on her Facebook page. She's your cousin, Tabitha, and she looks annoyed to be here. I'm so sorry for your loss, Tabitha. Yes, great, thank you. Let's get back to the estate. I don't want to spend any more time down here than I have to. Your cousin turns and motions to an old BMW parked near the bus kiosk. You follow her, clambering into the dusty relic. It doesn't take much driving before the only signs of civilization are the car you're in and the road that you're on. Tabitha maintains an icy silence as she focuses on the road. How are you holding up? Fine. You don't have to bottle your grief like that. I'm not bottling anything. I'm just more emotionally mature than you. I can't believe we've never actually met before this. You have your mom to thank for that. Or had, I guess. I'm sorry, but is there bad blood between us? All I know is my mom left and she was mad at the sight of the family, but I don't know much besides that. Your cousin stares straight ahead, her expression icy. So the funeral, it's on Sunday, right? Yep, like I told you. Do you need any help planning? If you ever need any help with errands or scheduling, feel free to ask. I know this stuff isn't easy. It's actually been fine. Just needed the coffin and somebody to dig a hole. You decide to sit in silence with your cousin as the car eases up the steep mountain road. And here it is, the Scarlet Estate. Though it's seen better days, its crumbling elegance is not lost on you, someone used to cramped apartments in gray cities. Your mother told you about this place many times before she passed, always with an anger burning beneath her words. The faded majesty you once imagined doesn't quite compare with what's in front of you, a jarring blend of opulence and ruin. As you stare at it perched on the crumbling cliffside, you can't help but feel like it's something that should have been left to rot a long, long time ago. You're hit with a blast of dusty air as you step across the threshold and into the foyer. Everything in this room has been here much longer than you've been alive, each object cemented in place with layers of dust and cobwebs. You can hear doors creak on their hinges and the aches and moans of ancient floorboards as the house itself sways in the wind. Welcome to our family's humble estate. Unfortunately, due to the current state of the house, only a few rooms will be safely accessible during your stay. I wouldn't go wandering anywhere else if you value your limbs. The floors have been known to give out. If you know what's good for you, you'll stick to your room, your bathroom, and the kitchen, and the hallways, I guess. But only the hallways you need to use to get to those places. I'll show you around so you know where it's safe to walk. You can leave your bags here for the time being. The architecture here is breathtaking. Chateau-esque style, reminiscent of the Biltmore estate. Color me marginally impressed. I didn't have you pegged as cultured. Believe it or not, this estate actually predates the Biltmore by nearly 3 decades. It used to be the crown jewel of the region, but times change and the attentions of the masses are ever so fickle. Shall we begin the tour? Follow me. You put your bags down and follow Tabitha through a long, dusty hallway. She delicately steps over holes and tears in the floor. You do your best to trace her steps. Kitchen. On Wednesdays, a woman from town comes in and does the cleaning. Her name is Janie. I wouldn't recommend socializing with her. She'll talk your ear off. If you need any food, there's fixings for peanut butter and jelly. Don't touch my mac and cheese or my ice cream. Those are off limits. Oh, and if you can also access the garden through here, but it's pretty wild, so I wouldn't if I were you. This is so nice. It's so much bigger than what I'm used to in the city. Is that a kitchen island? It is. Thank you. I might want to eat something other than PB&J this week. Is there somewhere in town we can get groceries? Well, aren't you fancy? Yeah, there's a general store. There's also a diner. I usually order my food in bulk online, though, so I won't be going with you. Sweet, thanks. Cool, good talk. Awesome, I love PB&J. How'd you know it was one of my favorites? That smile cannot be real. I didn't, but good for you. Alright, what's next on the tour? Bathroom, follow me. Great, it's been hours since I've gone. As the two of you leave the kitchen, you pass by a tuxedo cat sitting on the countertop. Don't try to pet Frou Frou. If she wants to be pet, she'll let you know. Ne me parlez pas. Ah, vous parlez français? Your French is terrible, disgusting. How dare you defile my language with your clumsy American tongue? Very funny. Her name sounds French. Stop wasting my time and let's finish the tour. You once again follow Tabitha through a long, dusty hallway. Maybe after a few nights it'll get easier to navigate these spaces, but for the time being you feel very lucky to have not fallen through the floors. Guest bathroom. Not much to show. It's a bathroom. I'll wait outside. Do what you must, if you must. It is a wretched bathroom. Piles of junk sit untouched in the corners of the room, and mystery stains paint the floor. Scram, fellas, the jig is up! Bugs skitter from the bowl as you lift the seat. A toilet is a toilet. Sure, it could be cleaner, but your business needs doing, and this is as good a place as any. You do what you must, and rejoin your cousin out in the hall. Next up, guest bedroom. Last stop on the tour. Follow me. You and Tabitha briefly return to the foyer before climbing the stairs and reaching the guest room. The room smells old. Dust, mildew, wood rot. It has it all. A week of sleeping in this place might give you permanent lung damage. This is where you'll be staying. The linens are fresh. I had Janie wash them last week. I had to endure a half-hour rant about her kid to get her to do it, so you'd better be grateful. The closet is full of old family stuff, so you can't hang your clothes up, but you can use the dresser. It should be empty. Who used to sleep here? When? This house is almost 150 years old. Many, many people have slept here. And now you'll sleep here, carrying on the fine tradition of bedrooms being slept in. I guess I'll start to get settled. Follow me. I'll take you back to the foyer so you can collect your belongings. This concludes our tour. I'm afraid I must return to my duties, so you'll have to entertain yourself for the rest of the day. Don't expect to see much of me. Is there a library in the estate? I couldn't bring too many books with me, and I'm not sure what else I should do with my time. There is, but as I said earlier, most of this building is off limits. And the library is in the West Wing, which is extra off limits. You'd be better off heading to town. I'm pretty sure there's a library there. Wait, where are you going? To work? Somebody has to pay the bills around here. What kind of work do you do? I run the coal mine, same as every Scarlet who came before me, except for you and your mom. It requires a lot of time and concentration, so I'd appreciate it if you didn't keep me for long. I didn't know we owned a coal mine. We don't own the coal mine. I own the coal mine. Your side of the family forfeited any claim to it years ago. Can I come watch? What? No, the mine is dangerous. I can't babysit you and do my job. Whatever your thoughts might be on Tabitha's work situation, you decide it's best to keep them to yourself. Is there anything else you'd like to bother me with before I leave, or are we good? Hey, did I do something wrong? You asked me to come to this funeral, but since the moment I got here, you've been acting like I spat in your coffee. What's going on? Was it something I said? Okay, I'm sorry I've been testy since you've gotten here. You've been fine. I'm just under a lot of pressure right now. Please just stay out of my hair until later, okay? I have work to do. Alright, I won't keep you, but we should hang out when you get back. We'll see. There's a lot that needs to get done this week. Your cousin leaves through the front door. And now it's just you. You in this sprawling, decrepit estate. Now that your cousin is gone, the aches and pains of your journey sink into your bones. You stumble up the stairs to your room, suitcase in tow, eager to unwind before you face the rest of the day. You stand at the entrance to your room. You drag your suitcase over to the dresser and open the bottom drawer. An opossum lurks within. It is quiet, but it is angry. Afraid! Hi, friend. I know hurt. Afraid! Oh, what's your name, little guy? I'm Yumi. Dustin. What are you doing in my drawers? Warm. Dark. Can you tell me about the human who lives here? Which human? But Perlan died. Only one human lives here. Dustin not good with names. 2 human live here. Okay, Dustin. Can you tell me about the 2 humans who live here? 1 human sad. 1 human scary. Can you tell me about the scary human? Always watches. Eyes hateful. Can you tell me about the sad human? Cries. Gives Dustin bad sleps. Never mind. Thanks for the help, Dustin. Kay! Can you move, please? I want to put my clothes in here. No, this is Dustin's house. You poor thing, you look cold in there. You gently lay your clothes on top of the creature, arranging them in a little nest. Dustin closes his mouth, somewhat more at ease than before, and looks up at you with shiny black eyes. Human is kind to Dustin. Dustin will remember this. You close the drawer, satisfied with yourself for a job well done. You can only imagine how beautiful the garden must have been in its heyday. If you owned this place, you'd totally get out there with a shovel and some gardening gloves and whip it into shape. You'd go out and pull some weeds, chop trees, carve topiaries, and do whatever you needed to do to return it to its former glory. And once it was all done, you'd sit by the fountain, which of course would have a little goldfish in it, and drink a floral tea while enjoying the birdsong. Yeah, you'd definitely do that, just not right now. This must be an old relative of yours. Very old, judging by the dates on the inscription. You've never heard of her, but you'd barely heard anything about your aunt and cousin until a week ago, so that's not a surprise. Maybe you could ask Tabitha about this Mary Belle Scarlet the next time you see her. That is, if she's actually in the mood for conversation. You can see why your cousin said you should put your clothes in the dresser instead of this closet. There must be decades of family history stacked up in here. Of course you're sharing a room with a creepy doll. You pick it up to examine it more closely. Its foot reads, "Property of Alexandra." No need to carry this around with you. You close the closet behind you. It doesn't seem like there's much else for you to do here right now. You haven't had anything to eat all day. The only things louder than your stomach right now are the creaks and moans of this ancient place. A PB&J sounds exactly like what you need to take on the rest of your day. You head to the kitchen. You're back in the kitchen, ready to craft a beautiful peanut butter and jelly sandwich. It's a daunting task, given the state of the place, but the aggressive growls of your stomach outweigh your fear of food poisoning. To get started, you'll probably need to find some peanut butter, some jelly, a bread, a plate, and a knife. As you approach the fridge, your eyes catch a note taped to the door reading, "Janie, stay out," in all caps. Below it, in separate handwriting, are the words, "Okie dokie." You open the fridge. You already feel a deep urge to wash your hands, even though you've yet to touch anything other than the handle. You grab for one of the unopened jars of grape jelly, carefully checking its expiration date. You breathe a sigh of relief when you realize it's recent. This was either purchased specifically for you, or jelly is one of the few things in this kitchen Tabitha actually uses. All you need now is a plate, a knife, bread, and some peanut butter. Better close this fridge and keep looking. You return to the kitchen, closing the fridge behind you. Tabitha sure loves her mac and cheese. You pick up one of the non-moldy loaves of bread. Great! One step closer to a satisfying snack. All you need now is a plate, a knife, and some peanut butter. The king of nut butters, and only 3% of each jar is mashed up cockroaches. The only things you need now are a plate and a knife. You close the pantry door as best you can and turn back to the rest of the kitchen. The cabinet must be where Tabitha keeps the dishware and, oddly enough, the utensils. You examine a mug. It reads, "I was blown away at Blowing Rock, North Carolina." So your aunt and cousin actually traveled sometimes, even if it was only a few hours from the estate. Maybe you can route your return trip through Blowing Rock. It might be nice to see the local sights before heading home. You pick up a shot glass. It reads, "I survived Deb's 50th. Your aunt's name was Perlan, so this wasn't from her 50th. From the few stories you'd heard from your mom, Perlan wasn't the type to have kitschy friends who gave out themed shot glasses at their birthday parties. You grab a plate and a butter knife. This is the last ingredient you need to make your PB&J. Time to get to work. You close the cabinet and look back to the rest of the kitchen. Despite the state of this horrendous kitchen, you have successfully combined the 3 ingredients to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Congratulations! You can feed yourself. A job well done. All of that hassle, and it took you less than a minute to eat. The rest of the day lies in front of you. Frou-Frou hisses as you draw near and remains firmly in place. You might want to talk to me, but I don't want to talk to you. Go away. Dustin says there's more than one person living in this house. Ugh, you talk to that disgusting little rat. Who lives in this house is none of your concern. What can you tell me about my cousin? This is the first time I've met her. Spare me your life story. Tabitha at least knows not to bother me. Can you tell me about Perlan? I never knew my aunt. She's dead. I don't waste my time on corpses. If you won't take the hint, I suppose I'll have to take things into my own hands. Frou-Frou lunges at your hand and bites you. Hard. You back away. You go to the garden. This garden was reclaimed by the wilderness long ago. It might not be very safe, but who's to stop you from venturing deeper? You wander into the garden. It's quiet out here. You head back inside and close the door behind you. Congratulations, you've eaten and have a full day ahead of you. What do you want to do next? With Tabitha gone, there's no one stopping you from going into the forbidden wings of the estate. You immediately try the nearest door, only to be impeded by locks and chains. Might as well head to town. With your cousin gone, there's nothing for you really to do here. You drop your bags off in your room and head out to explore the town. If you'd have known you'd wind up having to walk all the way back to town, you probably would have just asked Tabitha to leave you at the bus stop, especially with how unhappy she seemed to see you. If only you could wipe the slate between the two of you clean and bury some of the tension, though maybe her mother's funeral isn't the best time for something like that. Then again, maybe it's the perfect time. It's really pretty out here. Finally, you make it back to town. The holler, as that guy on the bus called it, has probably seen better days. It still has the feeling of an idyllic country town, but its sidewalks are cracked, and many of the storefronts are boarded up, their windows dusty with age. A chill breeze sweeps down the lane, and you shudder, suddenly feeling as if you're peering into a grave. Gretchen, come back! Quit bothering strangers! Why, I do declare, who is this stranger, and why does she smell of peanut butter? I'm sorry about that. Gretchen can be very slippery when she wants to be. She loves to get loose and cause havoc. It's nice to meet you, Gretchen. I'm Yumi. My, oh my, I can't remember the last time I met a newcomer who was so wonderfully polite. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Yumi. That's a funny way to introduce yourself. I'm Stella. It's not often I see a strange face up in the holler. Every now and then there's a new crop of coal folks, but you don't look dusty enough for that. You aren't in town for the funeral, are you? The Scarlet funeral? Hi, I'm Yumi. You must be Tabby's cousin, right? Upon mention of your cousin, Gretchen mutters under her breath. One of these days I'll get that Tabitha to pet me. That's the only person I can think of who would come to town for the funeral. How's she holding up? To be honest, I've been a little worried about her, all alone, up in that big house. I'm sorry, did I hear you right? I can't imagine Tabitha ever going by something so bubbly. She did back when I knew her better. It's been a while. I hope she's okay. I'm worried about her too. She's always been a little rough around the edges, but I figured she'd probably be having a rough go of things. She and her mom were really close. To think she's been up in that old mansion all by herself. It'll probably be good for her now that you're staying there, even if she doesn't think so herself. How long have you known her? Oh, quite a long time. This town's really small, so everyone's known everyone else as far back as they can remember. Tabby and I got a little close when we were back in the school's production of A Midsummer Night's Dream. I was Puck, and she was Mustard Seed. As you might have expected, she was more than a little prickly, but I managed to soften her up a bit in the end. But then she graduated, and that was that. I haven't seen that girl or her horrible little cat since I was middle-aged. Oh, before it slips my mind, if you're staying up in that spooky old mansion, you must have met the Frou-Frou. How does the monster fare? Sounds like you and Frou-Frou have a history. Oh, wait, what? Are you messing with me? You can't actually talk to my dog, right? Alas, you have discovered my dark and terrible secret. I can talk to animals, and animals talk to me. Your dog sounds like a southern belle when she talks. Yeah, of course you're joking. You and Stella maintain silent, awkward eye contact. Well, next time you see that devil, please send my regards, and do let her know that not only do I still draw breath, but that I very much still plan to outlive her. Oh, if you just got to town, you must be starving. I was just on my way to the diner for a coffee, and they've got amazing biscuits. My treat. The pleasant aroma of greasy breakfast food hangs heavy in the air. In contrast with the empty, lifeless atmosphere of the family estate, the diner is filled with the comforting din of human life. all of which grinds to a sudden halt as the patrons realize that a stranger has entered the establishment. Hey everyone, I'm Yumi, just in town for the funeral. Before anyone can respond, you and Stella casually slide into a booth, pretending the whole town didn't just gawk at you like a sideshow attraction. Looks like your entrance was a little more dramatic than you were expecting, huh? Folks around here don't meet many strangers as is, and with who you're related to, well, let's just say you'll be the talk of the town for a while. Hey, Stella, I went ahead and fixed you up a coffee. They gracefully place a cup of specially brewed coffee in front of Stella. Ah, shucks, thanks, Avery. And here's some bacon for the little lady. For me? For me? Gretchen sniffs the bacon and digs in. Anything for you? Could I have a biscuit and coffee, please? I heard they were really good. Best in the county. Avery pours the fragrant brew into the empty mug in front of you. They linger after pouring your coffee, turning to you nervously. Oh, and I'm sorry for your loss. Before you have the chance to respond, they're gone. Glad you took my advice with the biscuit. You won't regret it. Anyways, the funeral's not till Sunday, right? That gives you quite a bit of time to slum around town. I'm trying to think if there are any cool events going on this week. There's always the reading adventure at the library, which is supposed to be for little kids, but I do it every month anyway. Oh, and I'm pretty sure Avery's throwing a party Saturday night, so that's a fun thing to look forward to. And there's the weekly Sunday potluck. That should be right after the funeral too, so it'll be a special occasion. I'm sorry, did you say the library has a reading adventure? Yeah! Oscar's all about keeping things on theme, so this month it's a bunch of ghost stories. I think he's calling it spooky bookies. You know, like how a ghost would say it. Oh my god, that's perfect. Cool, we should check it out this week. But that's really just an afternoon. Any idea what you want to do for the rest of the week? How's the selection at the library outside of reading adventure stuff? It's great. I spend a lot of time there myself. In fact, I was working in the library most of this morning. I ran into you just as I was leaving. Oscar does a great job of stalking the place. Once he gets to know you, he'll compile these big lists of books he thinks you'd like, and he's always right. He might as well label the sections by townsperson. For me, it's a bunch of books on cryptids and weird supernatural stuff. He manages to track down some really rare sources. Before Stella can finish, Avery returns, biscuit in tow. Is there nothing else coming for me? Gosh, if I had known that that plate of bacon would be my main and only course, I would have waited before digging in. Here's your biscuit. Winnie says it's on the house. She sends her condolences. Aw, you didn't have to do that. It looks great. No worries. I hope you enjoy it. You pick up the biscuit. It's delicate and fluffy. It nearly crumbles at your touch. Buttery warmth emanates from its surface. You take a bite. It melts in your mouth as if nothing but butter suspended in a thin matrix of dough. Truly, this is a perfect biscuit. Whoa, this is a really good biscuit. Wow. I'm so glad you like it. Avery lingers at the table for a moment. So, has Stella mentioned she's famous? Oh, Avery, I'm not famous. Look, if you're not gonna go around tooting your own horn, you know I'm gonna do it for you. Stella sighs. I'm a YouTuber. Wait, what? It's not a big deal. I mean, it pays the bills, but it's really just a passion project, you know? You're too modest, Stella. Your videos are really good. You should watch them sometime, Yumi. They're like the Discovery Channel, but with better research. Color me interested. Tell me more. She hunts cryptids. I think the best video to start with would be that river one. Not the lake, but you know, the controversial one. Oh yeah, the Catawba River Runner. I didn't expect much out of that footage at the time, but it wound up being my most popular video by far. So the River Runner is a cryptid that's only known from a single sighting. 2 Boy Scouts thought they saw something big and weird in the Catawba River, and that's all I had to go on. But then I wound up catching this on camera. Stella pulls out her phone and shows you a clip of something in a river. The size and shape of the creature's body tells you it's likely a predator, and it's definitely not a wolf. You seem to recall that mountain lions used to live up here. Who's to say if there aren't a few left? Some folks said it was a beaver, but if that was the case, it'd be at least twice the size of any beaver I'd ever seen. I also had people saying it was a dog or even a capybara that must have escaped from a local wildlife sanctuary. It was a mountain lion. I could smell its stink from miles away. I'm still not sure what it was, and I'm the one who saw the thing with my own 2 eyes. Maybe it's a mountain lion. It's definitely got that predator shape and size, and there used to be a population in North Carolina. No way. It is absolutely not a mountain lion. There are no mountain lions left this far east. I did a whole video on the Appalachian mountain lion myth and found jack squat. And there's no reason one would be swimming in the river like this. They're not fans of water. And the body is too long. No way. Personally, I'm a fan of the capybara theory. Sure, it's not like any local sanctuaries were missing one, but there's always people keeping exotic animals as pets. Kind of a sewer gator type situation. Exactly. Some exotic pet owner set it free, and now it will forever roam the Catawba, confusing Boy Scouts and YouTube commenters for years to come. So, speaking of things to do around town, I was actually planning on filming this week's video tonight. I was wondering if maybe you'd want to come along? It's a pretty easy one this week. We wouldn't even have to camp anywhere. I'm gonna go after the... Wait, no spoilers. Whoops, sorry, Avery. It's okay, I should probably get back to it instead of standing around chatting with friends. See y'all later. Now that the coast is clear, I'm going after Skunk Ape. But doesn't Skunk Ape live in Florida? Oh, you know your stuff, don't you? I knew you'd make a great partner. It mostly lives in Florida, but there's been sightings as far north as Virginia. While I was doing research for last week's video, I came across a report where a lady from a town over claimed to have seen one on her deck playing tug-of-war with her dog. And as I leave no stone unturned, I decided it was worth investigating. So what do you want to say? Do you want to tag along? Hold the camera for me while I narrate against the darkening sky? That sort of thing? That depends. Are you gonna be there, Gretchen? Oh, naturally. I wouldn't want any misfortune to befall my beloved Stella. I must stay by her side through thick and thin, however odd her passions may be. Of course, it's actually been a while since I've had anyone but Gretchen out there with me. Say no more, I'm in. This is gonna be a lot of fun. I actually started this channel with a couple of buddies of mine back in middle school, so it'll kind of be like a blast from the past. Me and Kanika and Reese, running around in the woods, flipping over rocks and bothering salamanders. Our videos were terrible, but we had a lot of fun, and that's all that mattered to us. You know, that gets me thinking. I wonder if they'd be down to come with us. Get the old gang back together. Though, I guess Kanika has to close out the general store tonight, so I'm pretty sure she's a no-go. But Reese, I think there's a decent chance we could get him to come out of his hidey hole if he's up for it. Do you mind if I make a quick call? Stella pulls out her phone and dials it, waiting while it rings. Reese! Dude, what's up? I feel like it's been forever. Ah, man, I'm sorry to hear that. Do you want me to come by, or...? Okay, if you're really sure, but if you change your mind... Oh, I was just calling to ask if you wanted to come out to the woods tonight. I met someone really cool in town today. She's Tabitha's cousin. I know! Yeah, just here for the week. Anyway, we're gonna go out to look for skunk ape. We could take the easier trails if that would help. Dang, man, that sounds awful. I hope you take it easy tonight. I'll swing by sometime this week and we can have a more low-key hang. How's that? Yeah, I'll bring her. Talk to you soon. Bye, bud. Reese. There's always been something off about that boy. I never did like the smell of him. It looks like it's just you and me, pal. Did he ask you to bring me to his house? Why? He's excited to meet you, of course. I think you'll find most folks in town are. Is he okay? He's not feeling well, that's all. He's had a lot going on in the past, gosh, 10 years or so? But I feel like it's gotten a lot worse recently. I can't remember the last time I saw him leave his house. Oh well, it's not my place to talk about, really. I just got a little excited thinking about having him along again. He's hilarious. You would love him. We should swing by his place sometime this week. That'd be nice. I'd love to meet your friends. Awesome. I'll make it happen. He's definitely the trickier one to meet. Kanika is much easier to track down since she's at the general store basically every day. But friendship can wait. We've got a skunk ape to hunt. So, we should probably head out if we want to make it up to the mountain before it's too dark. Come on, let's blow this popsicle stand. You pause before getting up. Maybe it's time to make a good first impression. Leave a generous tip. You reach into your pocket and pull out a crumpled $5 bill. You know it's a bit more than one would expect to get from such a short dining experience, but you might as well share the wealth while you've got it. You smooth out the bill before placing it on the table inconspicuously. Ah, that's sweet of you. Avery will appreciate that, I'm sure. Stella turns to leave the diner with you following close behind. It hadn't been very cold when you first arrived in town, but as the sun dips closer and closer to the horizon, a chill descends upon the hollow, and you see your situation with renewed clarity. You're in a new place, far from civilization and the people you know, following someone you just met into a dark forest in search of monsters. You feel alive. The fall breeze passing through the trees, the orange hue of the setting sun painting the horizon, the promise of excitement ahead. It's been a while since you've felt this in the moment, this present. The world around you feels almost magical. Were a mythical creature to actually manifest in front of you, it would fit perfectly in this world. Gotta love this brisk fall weather. This past summer was the hottest on record. Since last year, at least. You know how it is these days. Each summer it's the hottest yet until the next summer, which always finds a way to be so much worse. It's just nice to feel a chill in the air and see the leaves change, like normalcy is restored, if only for a moment. Sorry, if that was a bit of a bummer. We should talk about something more fun, like skunk apes. What's the weirdest thing you've ever seen out here? Other than anything cryptid related, of course. Oh gosh, that's a good one. Let me think. Well, there's always the deer I saw stealing baby birds out of a nest and eating them. That was pretty messed up. But I think most people know about that these days. I've seen tons of videos of other deer doing it, so I'm not sure if it counts as weird anymore. Oh, Tetanus Lake. That's definitely the weirdest. It was a 5-foot deep, 30-foot wide pile of old cans and bottles and assorted garbage, with grass and trees growing on it, so you could barely tell it was there until you stepped on it. It was practically solid ground with how much it had been compressed, but you could still fall through if you weren't careful, hence the name. Better be up on your shots if you want to mess around in there. It was all stuff from the 50s, which was pretty neat. I salvaged a few bottles that I kept on my dresser as a little souvenir. Are you really expecting to find anything out here? What are the chances we actually run into a skunk ape on just the first night of filming? That's fair. We are hunting a creature that stayed hidden from humans long enough to gain a mythic reputation. What are the odds of something like that popping out to star on my little YouTube channel? But hey, the chances are never zero, right? Do you ever hunt things that aren't cryptids? You know, like ghosts, demons, werewolves, that sort of thing? Yeah, for sure. I used to go after all sorts of spooky stuff. I never had much luck, though, especially when it came to ghosts. Back when I first started doing solo videos, I'd go into all sorts of old, abandoned buildings, hoping I'd stumble across some sort of activity. But nothing ever happened. It was always just me and my camera in an old house getting worked up over a gust of wind or a creaky floorboard. When all's said and done, I've just been a lot luckier with cryptids. I want to believe ghosts so bad, but I can't rule out the possibility that there really are true hauntings out there. But if there are, I sure as heck haven't seen any myself. Werewolves? I kind of lump in with cryptids. I'd be shocked if there actually were people out there who turn into animals, but werewolf lore lines up pretty well with the great beast genre of cryptid. As for demons, I don't know. I don't even want to consider the possibility that they exist, because if they really are out there, jeez, a lot of folks are doomed to an eternity of flames. So let's hope it's all just bunk, am I right? What do you think about aliens? Don't even get me started. Did you see those UFO videos the government declassified? Aliens are definitely real, and they have absolutely visited Earth. Like, I believe in aliens way more than I believe in cryptids. I adore my darling Stella, but she gets the strangest ideas in her head these days. Ever since her parents went away, she's been more and more foolhardy with all this critter nonsense. You don't see me hunting aliens out here because we know they're real. I do believe aliens exist, but I'm not too sure they've visited Earth. The chances that anything beyond a single-celled organism exists anywhere close enough to realistically travel to Earth, combined with the even smaller chance that those life forms existing at the same time as us, combined with the even smaller chance that those organisms have invented and perfected space travel to the extent that they can casually visit other worlds, those chances are low. Let me just say that much. Low, but not zero. Anyway, agree to disagree, but I've heard some neat stories. I know somebody who knows somebody who heard a story from this trucker in Fayetteville. His truck stopped in the middle of the road, just shut down completely, even though he had a full tank of gas. And suddenly it looked like daylight outside. He could see cows in the fields, birds in the sky, and this metallic, egg thing appeared, floating in front of his truck. He passed out, and when he woke up, he was missing one of his pinkies. It was like it had never been there. It was just smooth skin where a pinky should be. I know it's a secondhand source, but there's plenty more like it, and if they are true... Huh. That's pretty interesting. Maybe I could come around to this eventually, if there's more proof. Oh, do I ever have proof? Once we're back in civilization, I have a stockpile of videos and interviews that'll blow your mind. Has anything bad ever happened on one of these hikes? You know, just curious. Let me think. There was that one time in early high school when Reese fell down a cliff. But he was fine. We had some folks from town rig up a pulley to get him out of the ravine, and his leg only took a couple of months to heal. All in all, not too bad. Though I guess there was that time I was out here alone and kinda got stuck in a cave. I was getting great footage of what I thought was a family of wampus cats, but I wasn't able to wiggle my way back out. Turns out that the wampus cats were actually skunks who did very much not like me blocking the entrance to their hidey hole. And instead of running for help, Gretchen just sat outside, bored to tears. Lassie, she is not. As if I made sure to give those nasty little skunks a piece of my mind, that's what I did. And I kept Stella company, just as she would for me if I decided to hide in a hole for hours. It took about an hour to get loose, which was pretty intense, but a few tomato juice baths later, I was right as rain, so it could have been a lot worse. Oh, and there was that time I accidentally stumbled onto Old Duke's property and nearly got my head shot off. But that happens to everybody sooner or later. I'd barely count it. So yeah, these hikes aren't all that dangerous, all things considered. Did you hear that? Oh, calm down, Gretchen, you old mutt. Oh, Duke, you rascal. Same to you, Stella. You're always jumping at nothing, girl. Phew, sorry for getting spooked, Duke. I thought you were some creature of darkness, not girly, just old Duke. Now what the hell are you looking for way out here? Skunk ape? Sorry I asked. Who's this you suckered into coming with you? Wait a tick, you aren't... Is that... Yep. I see. Welcome to the holler. My condolences. I'll keep you in my prayers. Another stranger, another opportunity for a salty introduction. You once again remember the dripping bag of peanuts you have on your person, and briefly consider offering them to Duke before realizing it would probably be more of an insult than anything else. You keep them hidden away. Now both of y'all are to head on back to town, you hear? It's best you steer well clear of this area tonight. I'm out dealing with my own critter, and I won't be too appreciative if a couple of fools with a camera scare away the more sensitive wildlife. What are you hunting tonight? Something tall and hairy? Something musky? You see anything like that recently? Wouldn't you like to know? You never could stay in your own business, Stella Richmond. Put that damned camera down. Ah, come on, Duke. Maybe I could help out. I'm pretty good at tracking. You know I learned from the best. That you did, but I have yet to see a shred of proof that you listened to any of it. The way you tromp around the woods at night yelling about chunkabungas or what have you. Something's been getting at my chickens. I've lost 3 this week and can't afford to lose any more than that. I'm so sorry to hear that. But if Skunk Ape has a taste for chicken.
Now, see, this is why I don't come to you about these things. It ain't no skunk ape, whatever the hell that is. I know exactly what it is, but I know you won't believe me if I tell you.
Oh, Duke, you don't think it's...
I do, actually. It's those damned mountain lions. They're out there, Stella. I don't care what your little investigation turned up. You haven't been out in these woods as long as I have. Those sons of bitches are sneaky. Of course you wouldn't find one in one night of tracking. I know for a fact that's been getting at my chickens. Couldn't be anything else.
I'm telling you, man, mountain lions are extinct in these parts. There hasn't been an actual sighting since the 1990s, and even those were iffy.
It's true, there are mountain lions out here, sure as sin. They pee on all the best trees. I can't believe you go out there on your YouTube saying some river monster spotted by a couple school-age Boy Scouts has been 100% confirmed, yet Appalachian cougars are some kind of far-fetched fantasy made up by geezers like me. You made me look like a fool. I read those comments people were posting on your video. They were calling me all kinds of names just for seeing things with my own eyes that I know to be true.
I'm sorry, Duke. I didn't mean to sick anyone on you. I just don't think it's plausible.
You'll eat those words when I come carrying a mountain lion corpse out of those woods at dawn. And if you two don't want a face full of buckshot, I suggest you run home and stay out of these woods tonight.
You stand awkwardly by as the two continue to argue. Duke, you're just wasting your time. Just give us one night out there to see what we can find. I'm sure we can get to the bottom of this.
Yeah, right. You'll get some shaky footage of a raccoon and claim it's heretofore unknown creature that has heat ray vision or some such nonsense. I know what I'm looking for, and there's no way I'm backing down.
But I've gotta film tonight. The video needs to be out by tomorrow evening so I can keep on schedule. If I miss an update, I might lose my new sponsor, and who knows what that'll mean for my career.
You ain't the only one on a schedule. As you know, my boy Bo and me are headed down to the state fair to show off Big Betty. We'll be gone near a whole week, so our chicken coop might as well have a big all-you-can-eat sign on it. You know how I feel about my chickens. I couldn't take it if I lost any more of my poor little ladies.
Let's just go, Stella. He's not gonna budge. You're right. No point in losing any more time arguing. Fine, we'll head back into town. Break a leg out there, Duke.
Break a what now?
I mean, good luck, old man.
Alright, have a nice night, y'all.
As you and Stella return to the trail, she carefully looks back the way you came. Okay, the coast is clear. There's no way we're letting Duke edge us out that easy. Come on, I know a trail that'll let us get around him. Lead the way. And trust me, we don't have anything to worry about from old Duke or his shotgun. I've gone out hunting with him before. The man sounds like a truck crashing through the trees when he walks. Even if we do cross paths, we'll hear him long before he catches wind of us. The trail's just up this way. Let's go. All right, this looks like a good shot. Mind holding the camera? She hands you the camera and takes position. Ahem. As night falls, my new assistant, the mysterious Yumi, and I find ourselves on a high hill in the Blue Ridge Mountains, where we'll begin our hunt for the elusive yet pungent skunk ape. Though mostly encountered in Florida, this possible relative of Bigfoot has been spotted all along the southeastern edge of the United States, including right in this very county.
Here's hoping we get a glimpse tonight. We'll check back in when we're on the trail. Until then, stay searching, Stellars.
And keep digging, Gretches.
I can take that camera off your hands for now. We'll be able to start the tracking scenes once the sun sets all the way. In the meantime, we get to take in all this beautiful scenery. It's gorgeous out here, don't you think? I'm loving the biodiversity up here. I'm so used to only seeing pigeons and rats. I can't wait to whip out my copy of Guide to the Birds and Wildlife of Western North Carolina and go to town on some identifications. Oh, so you're a bit of a bird watcher. I hear bird watchers go wild for cardinals. And they're our state birds, so you're in for a great week. You'll get an eyeful of all the angry little red birds your heart could desire. Your quiet moment with Stella is broken by a loud, percussive snort. Whoa, is that a deer? I've seen videos of them making that spooky little warning snort, but I've never heard it in person. Sure was. Let's go check it out. As you and Stella hear the footfalls of animals retreating into the woods, she reaches for her flashlight. A single deer remains behind, staring down the beam of light while Gretchen whines and pulls at her harness.
Pain, rot, decay.
A deer! Let me at him! How dare he infringe upon my dear Estella's personal space! Let me at him! And then it's gone. Jeez, Gretchen, calm down. You're gonna hurt yourself. Oh my, it seems I was consumed by a blinding rage. How very unladylike. What must you think of me? She cannot handle deer. When she gets like this, I usually have to pick her up and hold her. She has a bad habit of slipping her harness when she wants to go after something. You're too much of a potato, and they don't make harnesses that fit potatoes, do they? Was there some sort of cyst on that deer? It looked bad. Yeah, I think you're right. I bet it was an abscess. Maybe a tumor? It's not like wild animals can get those taken care of, so they just get bigger and bigger. Poor thing. But there's not much we can do about it. Why do you bring Gretchen out here with you? She doesn't seem like the safest choice for a hiking companion. Excuse you, though after that outburst came over me, well, I suppose I can see the merit of your concern. I actually find her to be quite the opposite. Sure, she wants to chase stuff, but I usually let her when I'm not on one of my cryptid hunts, so I can't hold that against her. I'm just happy she's still so feisty, even at her age. Pugs aren't exactly known for their good health, but here she is, running around in the woods at 17. And I feel like the fresh mountain air and exercise have helped her a lot in that regard. You defy the laws of nature, don't you, Gretch? Well, that got my heart rate up. I am so ready for the hunt. Same for me. How about we take a quick snack break to fuel up? Then we get right into the night's activities. I've got all the best trail snacks. As you settle down to rest, Stella breaks open a bag of assorted snacks. You grab the trail mix with the extra M&Ms. Classic choice. It never fails to satisfy. I like to mix my own to make sure it has the best stuff, and I use dried cherries instead of raisins. Maybe it's a bit of a controversial pick, but even as someone who's passionate about dried fruit, I simply cannot abide raisins. Yes, finally, as someone who gets it, raisins are glorified mouse droppings. They destroy everything they touch. Definitely. Any other dried fruit is better. Glad to finally meet a fellow preserved fruit connoisseur who can appreciate my refined taste in trail mix.
You and Stella settle down on an overlook, snacks in hand, as the quiet sounds of an evening wildlife wash over you. Gretchen gnaws a stick, distracted for the time being. So tell me, what's it like in Chibinoko, the town you're from? Do you have a house, an apartment? Do you live with family, roommates, pets? Tell me what it's like to be Yumi. I live in a doorless basement that floods whenever it rains. I also have 5 roommates, and they like to come downstairs to do laundry in my room because the washer and dryer are down there. It's the worst. Half the room is unusable because it's 3 inches deep in water every couple weeks. And I don't remember the last time I've had a good night's sleep, or privacy for that matter. Yikes! Sounds like the old Scarlet Estate might actually be a step up for you. Are your roommates nice, at least? I dunno, they're nice, but they're kind of cliquey. I feel like they're all friends already, and they don't really want to get to know me. Like, they have game nights, but they seem to have a lot of 5-person board games, and not a whole lot for 6, somehow. Or they'll make a communal dinner and forget to invite me. Maybe I just give off a weird vibe. I don't know. If you do, I haven't picked up on it. It sounds to me like they aren't really trying to get to know you. Well, that's too bad, bud. Seems to me like you've got a lot to offer. Have you tried looking for another place? Oh, I hear you. I've been saving up for something better. Oh yeah, good for you. So, what do you do for a living? I work in food service. I'm on my feet all day getting yelled at for things beyond my control, and I mostly get paid in tips. It's a living. A crisp breeze passes over you. What about you? What's your living situation? Gretchen and I live in a little house just outside town. It's actually the house I grew up in, so it has a lot of pleasant memories attached to it, and I'm glad I could keep it in the family. My great-great-grandfather built that house, and he must have done a great job because it's as sturdy as it's ever been. Oh, do you live with your parents, family home and all that? No, it's just me. They aren't with us anymore. Oh, geez. I'm so sorry. It's okay, you didn't know. And I've done my mourning. You don't have to watch your tongue around me or anything. Life goes on. What were they like? Did you get along? They were amazing. 2 of the nicest people you'd ever meet, and interesting too. My dad was a bit of a regional legend among hunters and trappers. He was always out in the woods on a trail of something, and we certainly had some interesting dinners because of him. He had to learn how to fend for himself, you see, since his family didn't have much growing up. So he learned how to hunt and trap and got damned good at it. He always made sure I had food and that I knew how to get it if I ever found myself too far from a grocery store. I could make us a pretty good salad with just what's in this clearing if I had to, though it wouldn't exactly taste great. As for my mom, she was a saint. She was the local vet, the lady all the farms in the county knew to call if their animals were in need of something. She was smart as a whip and strong to boot. Turns out pulling calves out of 1,600-pound cows all day is a great way to build muscle. But she was gentle, too. Even the smallest mouse would get the proper care in her hands. I'm sure most of the reason Gretchen here is one of the oldest dogs I've ever met is because of her. So yeah, those were my parents. My mom died pretty recently, so I get it. It's alright if you ever need to talk about things. Thanks, Yumi. That's really sweet of you.
How are you holding up? I'm okay, hanging in there. It was a long time coming, so it wasn't a surprise. Kind of come to terms with it by the time it actually happened. And it's not all bad. She doesn't have to be in pain anymore, so that's a relief. The hospital bills are another story, though.
Yeesh, I can't even imagine how bad that must be. It's just salt in the wound at that point.
Whoa. My stars, what was that?
Stella immediately packs her bag and slings it over her shoulder.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, no kidding. Whatever made that sound? I've never heard anything like it. And it's close. Here, hold Gretchen's leash for me and let's check it out.
You and Stella inch towards the tree line as she shines her flashlight into the woods. Do stay close, Yumi. I wouldn't want any harm to befall you. As you approach, a series of weak clucks call out from a nearby bush.
Pain. It's all pain.
Maybe Duke's birds weren't eaten after all. What the hell was that? Hold on, I gotta play that back. Holy shit. I'm guessing it must be maybe 2-3 feet tall? Doesn't look hairy either, so I think we can rule out skunk ape. But whatever it is, it has one of Duke's chickens. It looks like it's headed north. Let's go after it. Are we about to discover a new animal? I never thought I'd get to scratch that one off my bucket list. Yeah, I'm pumped, but it won't get to be discovered unless we catch it. Let's go. Stella sprints into the woods in pursuit, leaving you no choice but to run after her, Gretchen excitedly pulling along by her leash. Stella, my darling companion, are you all right? Oof. Are you okay? Yeah, I'm all right. I just tripped on something weird. Oh, no, that poor thing. It must be one of Duke's. Oh, Jesus, it's still alive. You move towards Stella to get a closer look at the chicken. Don't let Gretchen too close. She'll try to take a bite if you don't stop her. I would never. Something about this bird doesn't smell right. You hold Gretchen's leash close to your chest. She squirms against her harness.
Why am I alive?
Its poor little chicken eyes look up at you, glazed over, but still rolling around in their sockets with unfortunate life. Looks like this is what Stella slept on. The wing is barely still attached, but that seems to be the least of this chicken's concerns. Good God. At first you thought it might have been a tumor, but this is something else. The skin is stretched taut, the growth pulsing beneath. If you didn't know better, you'd say this could be some sort of parasitic growth, like a wasp laying eggs inside a caterpillar. Having investigated to your heart's content, you turn away to give Stella room to film. Ahem. It seems we found one of Duke's chickens, folks, and she's not looking good. I'm hesitant to speculate, but she definitely seems to have some sort of growth under her skin. It could be a tumor, could be something else. Either way, I don't think there's much that can be done for her at this point.
Jeez, I'm gonna have to put some massive content warnings for this video. Hey, do you hear that? There's something out there all around us. I can smell it. There's so many of them. What in Sam Hill are you two doing out here? Didn't I tell you to... Birdie? Oh, Birdie, what's wrong, darling? Good God. Did y'all see what did this to her? We didn't see whatever did this to your bird, but I think we can hear them right now. Don't tell me you're all caught up in Stella's nonsense. Duke, I'm so sorry. We were on the trail when we found her like this. Put that camera away, for God's sake, girl. I don't want to be in another one of your videos. No one needs to see me like this. No one needs to see Birdie like this. You wouldn't put her online, would you? Not when she's like this, all swollen and hurtin'. Duke, did you hear what Yumi said? I think they're coming closer. You stay away from Stella, you mongrels. Come on out, you sons of bitches. Duke, don't shoot them. We have no idea what will happen. You hear that, Stella? That ain't the sound of something peace-like. Whatever these things are, they'll pay for what they've done to my girls. Come on, you, whatever your name is, grab that flashlight and help me line up a good shot. I can feel the white-hot rage from earlier starting to wash back over me. I'm going after them. As the creatures in the tree line grow louder and more numerous, Gretchen violently strains against her harness. Quick! They're closing in on us! You dive forward and scoop Gretchen into your arms just before she manages to wriggle out of her harness. Your eyes fixate on the dark tree line over Duke's shoulder. God damn it! You hear a body hit the ground, and then quiet as the chaos fades and the sounds of nature creep back in. Gretchen? Yumi? Duke? Are you all right? Yeah, I'm okay. You? I'm okay. What happened? Did I lose myself again? I apologize for being so easily shaken up. I'll do better. Gretchen! Here, I'll take her. My poor little pup. Thanks for watching out for her. Duke? Are you okay? Oh my god. Oh my god. Duke, holy shit. What do we do now? What the hell are we supposed to do? Isn't this what you've been searching for? Those things out there are real. We should go after them. What happened to Duke? Is something wrong with him? Why won't he get up? Yeah, you're right. We need more footage. Come on, let's go after them before we lose our chance. Lead the way. Looks like Duke managed to tag one of them before he, We should be able to follow that blood trail. Let's go while it's still fresh. As you and Stella push through the woods, the unearthly sounds once again surround you. Stella? I smell something terribly foul in the air. There's a clearing up ahead. Stella stops in her tracks a few feet ahead of you. Holy shit, I think I'm gonna be sick. The shrieks pull back into steady whispers as you and Stella stumble upon the putrid bodies of dozens of dead and dying animals. A sinking realization pulls at your gut. This is their nest, and you are surrounded. What is this horrible place? We need to get out of here. More of those swellings. All the animals here have them. Or had them. We need to get out of here. The footage doesn't matter anymore. Let's just get the hell away from this nest. Agreed. Just as you follow Stella in a mad dash through the woods, so too do the unearthly hollers and whispers of the nest. In the highest branches of trees and down on the forest floor, they're all around you, casually keeping pace with your all-out sprint. We're almost there. As you and Stella reach the main road, the cries of the creatures fade into the sounds of nature. It sounds like they've stopped following us. I certainly can't smell that stench anymore. I should get reception now that we're back on the main road. Let me find my phone so I can call the sheriff. You feel a buzz in your pocket. 6 missed calls from Tabitha, and 13 text messages. You try and call Tabitha back, but it goes straight to voicemail. You text Tabitha back and let her know you're okay. Your message sits unread. Tabitha seems worried. It's pretty late, isn't it? Stella pulls out her phone and dials. Hello, Earl? It's Stella Richmond. I'm up on the mountain on Asgina Trail. Duke is dead, Earl. Shotgun. It happened right in front of us. There's something in the woods. You gotta hurry. Okay, yeah. Are they really gone? Yeah, I think we're okay, but hurry. Jesus, Earl. Who's going to tell Bo? I guess now we wait. Takes a little while, but eventually a patrol car arrives at the scene. Out of it walk 2 officers, Sheriff Hugby, a friendlier, older man, and Deputy Franklin, a serious man wearing sunglasses, despite it being the middle of the night. See? Right here. A thing jumps out of the woods, then the shotgun goes off. What in the Sam Hill? What is that? Some kind of Pillsbury Doughboy? Could have been a naked maniac. As the video reveals the creature's nest, Franklin, ever so slightly, lowers his sunglasses. Or a whole bunch of naked maniacs. What the heck is that? Some sort of crop circle? They killed Duke. Uh-huh. Now we're gonna have to confiscate this camera, Miss Richmond, if you don't mind. This is evidence. But okay. Let me just turn it off to save the battery. Here you go, Deputy Franklin. We appreciate your compliance with the law. Get a team out in the morning to retrieve the body, but for now, Sheriff Hugby and I... Please, call me Earl. Earl and I will escort you, and... Who are you, exactly? That's Yumi. She came into town today for the funeral. Yumi? As in... Tabitha's cousin, yeah. Damn, didn't think you'd actually show. We'll escort you both back to town. If there's a naked maniac on the loose, it's best you don't walk back on your own. It wasn't a... Never mind. Why aren't you going out there tonight? There's a dead body in the woods. Those things out there could attack someone else. Well, it ain't exactly like old Duke is going anywhere at this point. He'll still be out there in the morning. We only have a skeleton crew at the moment. Monday nights are Deputy Derrickson's bowling nights. We'll be on alert for any more reports of naked maniacs, but retrieving Duke will just have to wait. Now, if you'll kindly step into the vehicle, we can return you safely to your home. Do we have to ride back with you? We can just walk. Those creatures left. We'll be fine. I'm afraid I'm going to have to insist for your own safety.
Stella sighs.
Okay. Thank you. You can ride up front with me, little lady. That is, if your mama permits. I certainly cannot turn down some extra pets and affection, especially after that ordeal we've all gone through tonight. Sure, Earl, you can hold Gretchen on the way back to town.
You two stay out of trouble. We'll have this all sorted out in the morning. Just get a good night's sleep. And you, whatever your name was.
Yumi.
Sure. You're in town for the funeral? Good. Don't go leaving before then. I imagine we'll need to ask you a few questions about everything you've seen tonight. Stella, keep an eye on her for us. Make sure she doesn't get into any more trouble. Y'all have a good night now.
Bye-bye, Gretchy, and y'all have a lovely evening. If any bugaboos give you trouble, you know how to get in touch. And here you are, back in town, away from the woods, with no one but Stella in sight.
Holy shit. I hope you don't mind me asking, but why on earth did you ask them if we could walk back home?
That's a fair question. I've just had some bad experiences with cars. I don't know how to drive them. I don't like getting into them unless it's literally a question of life or death. Which I guess tonight was. Sorry if I weirded you out. God, what a night.
They sure seemed a little blasé about a man's death.
I can't believe they're waiting until morning to even start looking for him. Who knows what those things are doing to his body right now? I believe they are well-intentioned, if in over their heads. And what's worse is I think they implied you're a suspect, even after we showed them all that footage. Even the nest.
They're cops. That's their whole job, depended on somebody, so of course they'd pick the out-of-towner. Here's hoping the footage clears my name. Yeah, no kidding. But it's okay. I'm not gonna let anything bad happen to you. Nor will I, though I have little understanding of police work. I was there. I filmed the whole thing. At the very least, it'll never hold up in court. And it won't get to that point either, because we're gonna do a little investigating of our own. We've got to find out more about those things. If we can get clearer footage, or better yet, trap one of them, there's no way they can blame you for what happened. The library doesn't open for a while, but I've read every book on cryptids they have and never came across anything like this. Wait, there is someone in town who might have some useful information. My friend's mom. Her place isn't far. We should head over there now before it gets any later. Let's do it. Awesome, let's go. I'm glad you're sticking it out with us. It's always so nice to have an extra companion. I hope she's still awake. There's something foul creeping up behind us.
Yumi.
Jesus! You and Stella turned to see a shadowy figure staring at you from across the road. You didn't hear it approach.
Welcome home.
Before you can respond, the door behind you swings open. An older woman stands in the entryway. Go home, Wayne. I can't help you tonight. You look back, and the figure is already gone, disappeared into the shadows of the night. I'm so sorry about that, Stella. Some people just can't be helped. But What brings you out here so late? And who is this?
Hi, Miss Forsyth. This is Yumi. Is it okay if we come in?
Of course, of course. You're in luck. I just put on water for hibiscus tea.
And for goodness sake, you can call me Sybil. You're an adult now, after all.
Welcome to my little nook.
This place always has the loveliest aromas.
It's so nice to finally meet you, Yumi. I am so sorry to hear about your mother.
Vivian was such a lovely soul, and she's been sorely missed in the holler. And now poor Pearl Ann is gone as well. Do let me know if there's anything you need while you're in town. You knew my mom?
Of course, dear. She was a good friend of mine for many years. She was such a lovely woman. You should come by sometime. I can delight you with unsavory tales of her youth.
Who was that outside?
Just a very sick man. You don't need to be worried about him.
How did you know that my mom died?
Pearl Ann was a chatty woman. Not much went on that I wouldn't get an earful of. Bless her heart.
I've never met Pearl Ann. You don't have to pass on your condolences to me. I have no feelings about the woman.
That's fair, child, but it seemed like the right thing to do.
We need your help.
Ah, yes, I suppose pleasantries can wait for another time. What's got you here so late? You seem troubled.
You know about weird stuff, right? Unexplainable stuff?
I'm not so sure I follow, dear. I know which oils to use for which aches. I know a bit about classical spiritualism.
Just what sort of unexplainable things are you talking about?
Duke was killed tonight by something in the woods.
Oh my lord, have you contacted the police? Yes, and they didn't take it very seriously. They're not even looking for the body until tomorrow. Those things out there, I don't even know how to describe them.
I can't say I know much about local wildlife. My daughter has always had a brighter gift for nature than I.
This wasn't the local wildlife, Mrs. Forsyth. Here, I can show you.
Stella pulls out a memory card from her sleeve and pops it into her phone.
I wasn't about to let the police hold on to this, at least not before we had a chance to make a copy.
Smooth.
The cops wouldn't know what to do with that footage anyway. Imagine if they'd accidentally erased it. Exactly. I'll give it to them if they ask again, but for now, we can examine the footage for ourselves.
Where was this? Up the mountains to the northwest. Within the town limits? Yes, I see. Is there a way to make the video bigger and louder if you can? I need to plug in the memory into a computer. I could go back and get mine. No need. Kanika should still be awake. She can lend us hers.
Kanika? Are we seeing Kanika? You'd better come with, Stella. I'm sure she'll be more than willing to help a friend than her nosy mother.
Kanika, come on out. We could use a little help.
What, Mom?
Oh, hey, Stella. And Gretchen, who's a good potato?
Kanika, is it me? Am I the good potato? I most certainly hope I am. And a stranger. What are you doing in my house?
I was helping Stella film a video in the woods, and something terrible happened. Tabitha's cousin?
Yep.
Sweetie, we were wondering if we could borrow your laptop. Stella and her friend have a video to show us. It's really important, Kanika.
Oh, okay. My room's a mess. I'll just bring it out there.
Heads up, Kanika, this is graphic. Duke got killed out in the woods tonight. It's on the recording.
Wait, are you serious? Duke's dead?
We can watch this without you.
You know I have a harder stomach than any of our friends. I'm pressing play.
Silence washes over the room as the video plays.
Stella, what the hell is this? This is far beyond my ability to contribute. I'll leave the thinking to you humans.
I'm sorry either of you had to see this, but Yumi and I have no idea how to make heads or tails of it. Stella, are you okay? Did you get hurt? I'm fine. Really, I'm okay. You remain silent. Poor Duke. Poor Beau. Has anyone told him yet? We talked to the police. I hope they told Beau, but Earl and Deputy Franklin didn't seem to be in too much of a hurry to do anything. I'll call him later tonight. But for now, we have something far more serious to discuss.
I agree, those things are still out there, and as long as they are, more people are in danger.
So very true, but not for the reasons you think. Those things, my grandmother called them, ditchlings. They are a terrible omen, a sign of great suffering and destruction to come.
Mom, come on. Whatever's doing this is serious. Stop scaring Stella and Yumi with this Talipo crap. A man just died. Have some respect.
Kanika, sweetie, let your mother talk.
The creatures themselves are harmless to people, despite that grisly scene in the woods. How can you say that? Duke is dead.
An unfortunate accident, and nothing more. Just as birds flock before a storm, the ditchlings congregate where tragedy is soon to fall. To see one is to be cursed by fate. To see so many in one place is... Sybil holds her silence.
Jesus, Mom, they've clearly had a rough night. They don't need this.
It's okay, Kanika. This is helpful.
Stella, whatever these things are, they aren't magic.
We can't rule that out, not after what we saw. But fine, let's focus on what we know. Whatever they are, they're doing something to those animals. You saw that nest. What were those growths? It must be a part of their life cycle. I looked at that chicken up close, and it looked like some sort of parasitic growth. Like when a wasp lays eggs in a caterpillar.
That seems plausible. I don't want to jump to any conclusions about something this out there, not without doing some research or talking to a biologist. I'm sure there's a rational explanation that'll clear all this up.
Oh dear, I'd forgotten entirely about the tea that I put on. Let me fix you up a couple of cups. It'll help soothe your nerves.
I don't know, it's getting kinda late and I should let Yumi get some rest. I ran her ragged today, with all the hiking and running through the woods in terror.
I can keep going. I'm still wired from everything that's happened.
Okay, maybe it's that I'm eager to get home and start doing some research. I'll ask around my usual forums to see if anyone has information on ditchlings. Is that what you called them?
That's right. You go home now and try to get some rest. Don't stay up all night on the online. Let me get you some of my house-made peppermint tea to go. It really does wonders to soothe the soul. Bye, Stella. I'll see you tomorrow, okay? You call me if you need to talk. Thanks, Kanika. I'll see ya. Bye, Yumi. It's excellent, iced or warm, though with the nights getting chillier, warm will probably be best. Helps wake up the bones. Be careful out there, both of you. Sybil turns and closes the door behind her.
What an unfortunately short visit.
Alrighty, let's head back home. My home, I mean. And here we are. You're welcome to stay the night if you want. I should probably head back before Tabitha has a conniption. Are you sure you're okay heading back up that mountain alone? Sybil said that the Ditchlings are harmless. I think I'll be okay. It's not far. Well, I won't stop you if you really want to go back. Here's my number. Call me when you get there, okay? And good luck. You and Stella exchange numbers. I'll see you tomorrow? Yeah, we're in this together. Yeah, we are. Stay safe, buddy.
Good luck, Yumi.
You begin the long hike back up to the Scarlet Estate, alone. Almost home. You've made it. Your salvation in sight, you make a mad dash for the door. As you reach for the knob, the door swings open. Where the hell have you been? I called you back as soon as I had reception. Did you? I didn't notice. Do you know anyone named Wayne? I employ over 100 people. I'm sure I know a Wayne. Sorry, I met this girl in town and we wound up really hitting it off. We went on this night hunt to find cryptids. Ah, so you met Stella then. That explains everything. She's gotten you all worked up. I'm going to bed. I will see you tomorrow. I'm still all hyped up on adrenaline from tonight. I'd love to just hang out for a while. Cool down a bit. No, I'm not going to hang out with you. It's late. I'm tired. I'm going to bed. Don't do anything stupid while I'm asleep. Just go to your room and sleep. You're alone in the estate. The sound of the wind whistling through the house gives you an uneasy feeling in your gut. It's probably best to turn in and try to leave the night behind you. As you settle into your room, you remember that Stella asked you to call her before you got back. You pull out your phone and call.
Hey, how are you?
She sounds a little different, like she's been crying.
Did you make it back all right?
Yeah, I'm all right. How are you?
Totally fine. I mean, as fine as I could be, I guess. You don't have to worry about me. Go get some Z's, okay? I'll see you tomorrow.
From the relative safety of this uncomfortable bed, the events of the past evening seem like something that happened to someone else, though you can still clearly picture the terror you felt in those moments. For now, you're safe and warm. Eventually, the sun will rise and chase away the monsters, and make them seem like nothing but bad dreams. Maybe tomorrow, if you're lucky, you'll wake up in the normal world and have a boring week in the mountains with your sour-faced cousin. It's a nice thought, but deep down, you can't help but worry that things will only get worse. this is the end of episode 1. You can pick up the rest of the game in early access on Steam or itch. Episodes 1 to 3 are out now, and episode 4 is slated for this Halloween season. Oh, thank you so much for joining me to play through this. This game is one of my favorites. I hope that, I don't know, I hope that I could convey some of that. I hope that you enjoyed listening to me speak for however long this took to do. I'm looking at the time, and it seems like it was a couple hours, so, yeah, this was great. I seriously would encourage you to go and check out this game. The episode 1 that I just played is completely free on Steam. You do not need to pay a single cent for it, which is crazy. You can just go and pick it up. I would highly suggest checking it out. There are so many different ways that many of those events can play out, depending on which traits you pick at the beginning. And that will continue to have consequences into future chapters. So I would highly recommend checking it out. The full game itself, so chapters 2 and 3 and soon to be 4, are available for $20, which is a goddamn steal for this goddamn game. It is really good. Anyway, I'm not even sponsored by these people. I'm just obsessed with this game and thought it would be a fantastic Halloween treat for you all. So I hope it was spooky. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you all next time. Thank you so much for joining me, and happy Halloween.